of you guys who aren't on here will be able to hear and see. So, and then audio is good. We've got that. Please use the chat. It's fantastic. And we are going to share the screen here. So let me see if we can get this pulled up. Start the broadcast. You guys should see my screen here in just a second. All right, so you guys should be able to see my screen. I'm gonna pop over here to Canva. You guys tell me, can somebody put in the chat? Can you see my Canva slide deck? Can you see Tally and Tim's face there? Let me know. Where are we at here? Let's see if I can pull the chat up. Let me know, guys. Can you see my screen? All right. Yep. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Perfect. Well, we're going to talk about effective social media strategies for the first 30 minutes of the call, 40-ish minutes. Then Tally's going to join, talk about taking relationships deeper. Before we get going, though, I'm always like to remind folks to go and follow the Energy for Sales channel on YouTube. And a lot of our title agent partners around the Mid-Atlantic, you know, they've asked for something that they can invite their real estate agents and mortgage folks to. And so this is what this call is all about. The Energy for Sales Monthly is a trifecta facing call. I call it the trifecta. It's for real estate, mortgage, and title folks. So we're going to keep it general enough, but also specific enough to our real estate professions. So feel free to invite your real estate agents. A lot of our small to medium-sized title companies, you know, they don't have the resource, or they've not done events, and so they really wanted to lean into something we have. And we also do the technology marketing and sales call, which is specifically title focused each month. And so if you're a real estate agent on this call, you know, thank your title partner for bringing you on, and thank them, you know, with your support, with your business, and we're grateful to have you on here. And but anyway, get subscribed to the channel over on YouTube, Energy for Sales. All of the recordings land there, and check out some of the past recordings. Some fantastic sales content. Again, we take sales seriously, but we also have a lot of fun. We believe if we're not having fun in sales, we're doing it wrong. Sales can be a lot of fun, but if it's based on the fundamentals, and we believe in discovery, activity, follow-up, and targeting. And with those fundamentals, those pillars, you can have a lot of fun in sales. And today we're going to share how to have some fun on social media. So I'm excited. Now, I promised you guys a discount code. So somebody, one of you all on my team, if you don't mind putting in the chat, Fidelity Agent Success, all together, no capitalizations, just Fidelity Agent Success. Go ahead and type that in the chat if you can. That's the coupon code for you guys. So if you're a title company on the call, and you have real estate agents and mortgage professionals in the Mid-Atlantic who are interested in coming out to an event that is action focused. This is not your, you know, a lot of motivation and that's it. This will be motivational on day one, and then day two, it's limited to 100 on day two. We are cracking laptops, opening up our cell phones, and Andrew and I and Michael Rivero, we're going to give you the actual prompts to put into ChatGPT. We're going to build you 2 free employees within ChatGPT. I'm going to take you through sales process. We're going to download databases, segment, build out scripts for those specific segments of our database. That way you can start talking to your database into the fall and winter months right now with very key questions and key things we can go out and talk and get conversations started. So it's going to be very workshop based on day two. Day one is going to be very inspirational. We got a lot of good speakers from the local real estate market, leaders, team leaders, and people that you want to, you know, be in the same room with. So jump in, but you get half off, guys, because your partnership with F&F, and you're able to offer that half off discount with that coupon code to your agents. And what we're telling you guys, so many of y'all have reached out, hey, can I invite some prospects, some prospective real estate agents? We're like, yes, you know, reach out to 5, 10, 15 people, say, hey, I'm going to this, come with me. Let's grow together. Let me be your accountability partner into 2025. And I'm telling you that I think the future of sales, the future of strategic sales success, I would say, is where you can find what's important to your clients and your prospective clients, and then help co-create that with them. And so be in the room yourself, bring 5 to 10 people with you, have a little huddle, have a little section in the room. It's at the Look Cinemas in Tyson's Corner. It's beautiful. In fact, the chairs are way too comfortable. We're gonna have to keep you on your toes. It's too comfortable, but be there in the room. It's gonna be fantastic. So invite your real estate partners and mortgage partners to this. All right. So that's for you guys. Now let's jump in. So today, what are we going to be going over? I've got 9 strategies and about, let's see here, 37 minutes. So we're going to try to divide this and really conquer here. But social media sales strategies. I'll take a pause and tell you guys, and I think you guys know this because I share this with everybody, is I have a love-hate relationship with social media, and I'm happy to say that. I've read too many books. I've seen way too many statistics on the neuroscience of social media. I've seen what the founders have neurohacked out of us. I'm reading a book right now called Indistractable by Nir Eyal, and he his website is Near and Far, Nir and Far, and so he plays on his name there. But his book is Indistractable, big yellow book, one word across the top. You can find it on Amazon for like $15. It is a powerful read because it gives you the awareness of what social media, and not just social media, but technology and notifications and all that actually do to our brain. It's short-circuited a lot of attention in our brain. It's created a hyper addictive nature. And so social media, and every sales professional I talk to agrees, there is an absolute need for social media because it is the language. It's like if you were to move to a foreign country and never attempt to learn the language, you would not be successful or maybe welcome in that culture. Same thing in our culture today. We have to know the social media language, and I believe we have to play there, but you don't have to play the game. And for years, we heard post 3 times a day, leverage all the channels, this, that, and the other. And all we've gotten from it is a lot of burnout, a lot of mental health issues. And it's the statistics are there. In fact, the statistics are only now coming out. And it's why these big companies are now trying to put some safeguards in place because of the lawsuits and, the Congress, panels and everything else going on. So, I mean, you guys see this. I'm not telling you anything new, but what we all know is deep down, social media can be an absolute energy drain. It could be an absolute attention drain. And at the end of the day, can I actually connect the dots to a real ROI for me, for my sales growth, for my business, from my social media time spent? So with that in mind, I want to present some social media sales strategies that aren't hypothetical. These are what I use. These are what I teach on, and they're strategies that I get a lot of feedback from the sales folks in Title that we work with and coach, and they're like, these absolutely work. I'll get text messages with snapshots from like a DM thread and be like, oh my gosh, like this real estate agent never talked to me, and look at this. And I'll see the thread starting, and it just overjoys me. So there's absolutely some strategy here. And I believe the strategy for social media, and here's the key, it can't just be a marketing strategy. A lot of times social media for us has just been like, I need to be out there. I know I need to be out there. I know people need to be able to find us. And social proof is key. People look you up. When your name's referred to somebody, they're going to look you up. What do they see? Go ahead and like Google yourself or look at your profile. Is it up to date? Like those things matter. The social proof is there. But social media is not just a marketing ploy anymore. I think 5 to 10 years ago, social media was more like it's the latest and greatest for marketing. I believe for a sales professional, social media is a strategic platform for thought leadership that when you are sequencing a prospect, they've not even talked to you yet, by strategically inserting a social touch, it allows them to engage with something you have strategically placed there to get their wheels churning. And not just churning about what you're talking about, but churning about, could I partner with this person and they help me do what they're doing? So I believe that social media, a strategy for sales folks, has to fit into our sales process somehow for it to work well. So again, if you're wearing a marketing hat and you're marketing for your company, a lot of this stuff will apply in how you even market and save time and in your own mental bandwidth. But really today, it's if you are in sale, if you are making relationships happen, if you are opening up sales conversations with prospective clients, these strategies will be absolutes for your social media. So I want to talk real quick about the different platforms. Okay, we have Google My Business, and I know it's not social media per se, but Google My Business and some of the strategies we teach on getting a review for every transaction which by the way, Andrew and I were just talking, like he's taken one of his great agents from like 200 reviews to 500 in like 6 months with one simple strategy. The whole team has bought into it. They're now using it as like recognition internally, and not just that, but now they're like top in, like when you search for top company, they're popping up in the top. So if you guys are interested in that specific strategy for Google My Business, reach out. I'm not going into Google My Business today. We'll probably do that in the future. However, if you're a mortgage banker, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a title company, you need to have a Google My Business page. Absolutely. It is the go-to for consumers when they look up reviews. It's the most trusted by consumers when it comes to reviews. I know Zillow and other places, Yelp and other places have review opportunities. I feel like those will happen more naturally. But if you're going to solicit a review, Google My Business is the biggest bang for your buck because it is cross-pollinating your website. It's cross-pollinating your social media. It's cross-pollinating and getting you that SEO bang for your buck. So Google My Business, while I'm not going to drill too deep today, I do want to mention it because when people leave a review, you have an opportunity right then and there to engage with that review and thank them. Or you can also post on Google My Business now. And I'm not big about like taking all of my posts from one channel and copy and pasting them across different channels. So I think Google My Business needs to be strategic post, but it still is a social platform. It's becoming more of a social platform. So let's make sure we have one. It's cleaned up. If we're if we multi-state, different geographical, lots of offices, let's make sure that we put together a strategy for our offices to leverage their local Google My Business page. It's so powerful. YouTube. Why do I bring up YouTube? Because YouTube has in the last few years really strongly competed with TikTok. We all know the threats with TikTok, and will TikTok be banned? Will TikTok go away? And I know Andrew leverages TikTok. Our Hanging with the Hoopers podcast is on TikTok. We've done really well there with some of like the sound bites and things we share. But a lot of people are like, do I get on TikTok? Do I not? Some of you guys are crushing on TikTok. But YouTube has really competed really with the shorts, and they've really taken off. And YouTube tends to just be a great, what I call library. YouTube is a great library for any form of web-based content that you're doing, trainings, education. By leveraging YouTube as your library, you're now able to distribute your content in a more standardized, consistent way. We also talk about AI and how it's best right now to start with long form video, like in a YouTube link, and then you can now use AI tools to chop and splice that up. In fact, if you're at Accelerate, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. So YouTube is also a very social channel. And then, so let's get into the more traditional though. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. All right. So LinkedIn, obviously more business professional related. They just came up with launched the Reels. So it's starting to look a little bit more like Facebook in that regard. However, LinkedIn is very, very powerful when it comes to local decision makers, local business leaders in your market. If you're a real estate agent on here, I think the most underused platform for real estate agents today is LinkedIn. LinkedIn can put you in contact with industry players, local decision makers, high-end clientele. LinkedIn's very, very powerful. Now, most real estate agents will dominate more on Instagram and or Facebook because that's where your consumer is. That's where your mom's groups are. That's where your local, Facebook groups that you might network in and work are. Absolutely. That's probably where, if I was a real estate agent, I would focus my time and energy. But here's what I want to say across all the platforms. If you chase two rabbits, you'll catch none. And what I see too many times is people can't stick with a social media content plan because there's just too much. There's too many. So what I would say is pick these platforms and use them for a strategic purpose. Google for reviews, make that a review process. YouTube for your long form video and library, right? LinkedIn, if you're not dominating on LinkedIn, you're a real estate professional, then post every so often, share an article, write an article, maybe take one of your YouTubes, have AI turn it into a written article, backlink it to your YouTube channel and post that on LinkedIn. Show some thought leadership, put a video on your LinkedIn somewhere. Either featured, like an introduction to who you are. If you guys check out my LinkedIn page, you'll see right up at the top, hi, I'm Tim Hooper, 37-second video. I get so many hits on that because when people land on my profile, because again, I'm using it strategically in my sales process, then they will, they'll see right at the top, they'll see, and they can click on that video and in 37 seconds see who I am. And I'll get a lot of connections because they're like, okay, I see, okay, I got it. I want to connect with this guy. So again, when you look at your platform, any one platform, is your best foot forward on that platform. But at the end of the day, where are you posting multiple times a week? That needs to be, you need to pick one place. You need to pick one place, all right? And give yourself the freedom to go deep and to do it well. Now, for me, again, I coach title companies heavily. I stay on LinkedIn. That's where I spend most of my time, right? I'm not even on Instagram. My brother's on Instagram. He fills me in. If we need to connect or collaborate with somebody, we'll like bounce that off each other. Again, I'm telling you guys, like I'm practicing what I'm preaching when it comes to less is more and focus. But at the same time, you say, Tim, do you ever want to be on Instagram? I will be on Instagram at some point. But it got to the point in my life where it was more distracting and I needed to focus. I'm going to teach you a strategy with that. I think there's a fear of letting go of something, but I'm going to tell you that there's freedom with it, and there's also a strategy to do it effectively. Now, Facebook for me is more personal. I do get tagged on Facebook a lot when I'm out speaking. People will tag me. I always allow those tags, so those will naturally happen on my feed. But what I'm posting on my feed on Facebook is more about my family, my kids, and my running and my passions, my hobbies. So like remodeling my house and remodeling fixer-uppers. So that for me is just I have my buckets, and so it's never oh, what do I post over here? If I don't have something hobby or kids or something like that, and I only post like maybe a 1/100th of all the pictures. I'm like a photojournalist. I take too many pictures every day, and I only every so often post on Facebook. That's just I'll do that, usually it's because grandma reaches out. I've not seen any pictures of the kids. I'm like, oh, I need to do one. So I'll go over to Facebook, right? But again, for me, my customers are happening on LinkedIn. My sales process is happening on LinkedIn. So I'm on LinkedIn every day other than the weekends. So with that in mind, I want to give you that strategy. But here's where this comes from. In mass communication, public relations was my degree. They taught us, they said, you don't need to be on all the platforms, but you definitely need to be inviting your people to where your party is happening. Think about that. Have you ever been like last minute to a party? You're like, I think I can make that person's event. So you're like Googling, you're going on social, you're trying to find their post about the event because you can't remember for the life of you where their event was going down, right? You're with me, right? You're going to go crash a party here. So you're like, yep, they got a happy hour. Where was that going on? And you're going to go and you can't find on social media, like on the post, it's like, boy, dang it, they didn't put the address on their social post or whatever. So you're like scrambling, like, where is this? You're texting somebody, where's the ABC, brokers, happy hour, whatever it is, right? Here's the thing about it. If you saw 3 or 4 different addresses, you'd be confused. You want to know where to go, right? What happens on social media oftentimes is we're doing that exact thing. We're throwing so many links at our customers. We're throwing so many links in our signature block of leave a review, all these places. Or we're telling people to leave a review like on an internal thread site that then never dumps over into Google. Like we have these great reviews, but or we're just sending too many links out there, never clicking. There's no clear one thing, call to action. So the power of being hyper focused on one platform and going deep on that platform is you now have the power to invite people. Use it in your sales process to invite them to that platform. You say, well, Tim, I'm on Instagram. That's where I dominate. And I need to also be over here in all these places because some of the people that I follow aren't on Instagram. If you say that there's a majority of your customers on Instagram and then there's another majority over here on this page and you're able to, then by all means, like run with 2. But I would just say pick the platform that has the highest average of your consumer, of your referral partner, the people you need to do business with. Pick that one and dominate. All right. So that's the deal getting into this to set the stage. Now let's run through these 9 strategies. Number 1, time block and delegate. Time block and delegate. What does this look like? Okay. You may have a rigorous posting strategy, right? You may be posting, you may be doing the whole algorithm and playing that and trying to really just get those views. Like if you're trying to get a viral on TikTok or if you're trying to go on Instagram, you want to be posting a little bit more or maybe stories. So with top producers, I'll tell them, like, do you have some maybe admin or a marketing person who can actually help you keep up with the actual posting side of things, right? And then you insert yourself humanly, like say a live video or just a video in the moment that you're going to throw up and post, or you're at an open house or something like that, you can insert your humanity into like some of these more posting, the FAQs, the different pre-created content, that they might be posting for you. If you can delegate, that's going to free you up. Why? Well, I believe in sales, it all comes down to how many sales conversations am I having? So what I would rather do as a sales professional is take whoever has engaged with my post and get into DMs with them. So if there's a comment or if there's a like, and it's a like of somebody that I followed and that I really want to do business with, right? Maybe you're a title company here and it's a real estate agent that you've never been able to meet, and they like your post. That's a great time to write on DM because they've already engaged with your content. Send them a direct message, right? So I would rather use my time for the human connection piece in sales, because that will start a sales conversation, than just spending all my time posting and never doing that deeper follow-up work. All right. So time block and delegate. Also delegate using AI. So take a long form video, splice it up with using AI, and then use that content so that you're not sitting there for 2-3 hours a week creating caption content. You're actually getting on using AI, doing one long form video, once a week or once every 2 weeks, and then using that the spliced up content in your social plan. All right. So and then time block. So for you, for the activities that you need to do. So we talked about delegating to an admin, or you're using AI for time block. What I believe is that there are certain times that actually matter on social media more than others. I found for my LinkedIn, somewhere between 7 and 8 o'clock, I catch a lot of people. They say also 10 a.m. is good, and then also like in the later afternoon. It really depends oftentimes on the day. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to teach you on how to distribute your content, it's going to be less about posting time. And a lot of those times have changed and shifted, by the way, especially coming out of the pandemic, with people's work schedules and hybrid and working from home, this, and that, and the other, really changing. So I don't want us to get too hung up on the time of day. I feel like morning gives me the best shot because it has all day to percolate. And some of the strategies I use to tag people or put some people in the comments, or maybe resurface it midday with a comment, those sorts of things, those can work for you if you get it in early. So anyway, that's where I'm at as far as the timing, because everyone's like, what's the best time to post? I think that's really changed very, very much after the last 3 years. But when I say time block, that's for me. I'm going to have a social media time block on my calendar. And what I'm going to do is on Monday, I'm going to spend time more planning. So on Monday, I might not even post. I may just plan, what do I need to say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Or I already have this week lined up. What needs to start happening next week? What interview do I need to have? What long form video do I need to create? So I may create something Monday that's going to be used next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, right? So Monday and Friday are more just planning. And then Friday, I try to get in and do all my follow-up on social, because there's comments and things that have happened that I've not followed up on. I try to respond to every comment. And so for Friday, for me, is follow up my inbox, follow up on social media, follow up with any text or phone calls that I needed to return. For me, it's closing everything, right? So, but anyway, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for me, prime time. In the morning, I'm going to post something, thought leadership quote. I'm going to post about an event that I did, or 2 events that went on last week, or like last week, 5, right? So I like running behind. I got too much to post. But on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm posting about stuff coming, stuff I've done, and quotes and thought leadership. Those are kind of my buckets I fall into on LinkedIn. And then I'll post maybe one thing on social, on Facebook that's more personal, or my run or something like that, right? So I'm going to be doing more posting. But then here's what I'm going to be doing. In my time block, my post, it's already been created. That's pretty quick. That actually happens very fast. What I'm going to now do is I'm going to take some time in that time block, so an hour on social media, and I'm going to now zoom in on some DMs. I'm going to be using DM very heavily. So with that in mind, time block. If you'll time block it, it'll get done. And Tony Robbins says we don't change our life by what we do once in a while. We change our life by what we do consistently. And so social media, for it to work as a strategy, just realize that it is a way to talk to people. And it's oftentimes more immediate now than the inbox or even text message, because people, in this industry, they have those notifications on, they're seeing it. So time block. Now, number 2, we talked about this. Plan your content in buckets, okay? Then pick your days. They don't have to be my days. Pick your days that work for you, and then insert more of you. And here's what I mean by this. And I've touched on this earlier. I'm going to bring it back into more of a strategy. Nowadays, people prefer video. We hear it all the time. Video, video, video. You got to do video. People prefer video. And so what I like to say is on your any social page, if you were to take a quick inventory of like land on your page, scroll down. Do you have a video within 3 posts? What I believe is that people they surf and they glance. If they don't see something to click or play or to feel you, like get an essence of you, they move away. Nowadays, people want to hear you. Did you know that the millennial and the Gen Z, we have been programmed to experience you before we engage with you? We want to kind of see, do we like you? We want to hear you. You know, it's like on Google. You like to see the video of the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You go on Google, look for the reviews. You're looking for the pictures, but you're also looking at the video. Why? Because you can hear the music. You can see the ambiance. You can see, is this somewhere I want to take my significant other or not, right? So think about that when people land on your social platform. Have you inserted enough of you? Are they hearing your vocals, right? So that's why I say every 3rd post, you'll be doing yourself a favor if it's a video. Now, if you have like 4 or 5 that are posts or raw data or something like this, that's fine. But what I see too often is we're just resharing the corporate stuff. We're just resharing the market stats. We're just resharing stuff, or we create it on our own brand deck in Canva, and it's got our little like, logo and our headshot. But then it's like, okay. And people within 3 or 4 posts, they kind of see, it's just kind of feels very template-y and very markety-ish. You like all that English there? It's perfect. Okay. Oh, it's not, but it's okay. What I think we have to realize is people they want to hear you. They want to experience you. Can they do that? Very easily within one little, flick of the thumb, will they see something that has what somebody called the best call to action button, which is the triangle for a video to play. So that is a strategy. Insert more of you using video. So plan your content in buckets. And real quick, backing up, buckets. What does that mean? I told you about like my personal link, Facebook stuff, running, kids, remodeling, right? Dates with people, my wife, my brother, my best friends. Like I'm gonna post that, cool trips, whatever. That's kind of me, right? And those are my buckets on Facebook. Every now and then I'll get like something up my craw and I'll get on my soapbox about something. Very rare. And I share my faith. Like that's Facebook. On LinkedIn, my buckets are, I'm writing a book right now called Live Timeless. And so I'll take a snippet from my book and I'll share that. So about every 4th or 5th post, you'll see a Live Timeless quote. And then I do kind of a little write-up and excerpt from the book. So that's one of my thought leadership. The other one is my brother and I have a podcast. So you'll see me reshare some leadership stuff. David Oliphant, you guys love him. He's actually in California and sends his regards to you guys. He's with his son. Who's in the Navy, but he and I will do this podcast. So I'll do an article about sales. So sales and leadership are like 2 buckets that I play in a lot. And then I will just post when I'm at an event. In fact, one of my buddies, Craig Haskins, yesterday at the big convention, he gives me grief from stage about, he said, I'm not going to do the whole Tim spin thing. I was like, yeah, I love you too. It was awesome. He was having some fun with it. But so that's just me. I've been doing that for years. When I do an event, I do a little Tim spin in front of the room and I just post that. So that becomes like a bucket for me. And then I usually in that post write a little excerpt from what we talked about or some of the feedback from the training, because I believe that will also inspire thought online. So just really more documenting what I'm doing. I'm posting about a book I'm writing, excerpts, and then podcasts that are already happening or webinars. I'll just repurpose that into like an article format, or I'll just reshare and tag YouTube. So really at the end of the day, I'm not really overthinking the content. I'm just playing in some buckets, but those are buckets that matter for my audience, for who I work with, right? Business owners, leaders, top producers, right? So with that in mind, who are you after? Who's your ideal client and what would attract them to work with you? I think we need to insert more of that onto our channel, because when they land on your channel, again, what I said earlier, can they imagine working with you? That's the key, right? All right, so now strategy number 3. I think this is very underused, but we talked about CRM last month, right? So you have a segmented list in your CRM. You have 30 people that you want to connect with and have a sales conversation with in the next 90 days, right? We've talked about this. Have your hot list. These are people you want to zoom in with. This could be a business leader in the community. This could be a, that city council member. This could be the dentist, people of influence. This could be just a home buyer, or somebody in a group. This could be a past client that's gone cold that you haven't talked to in a while. Whomever you're trying to zoom in with. I say this: use your search function in your time block that morning over the next 30 days. Use your search function in whatever platform you're trying to really go deeper on. So say it's Instagram, search for that person. Use your CRM as a guide. Don't just do it. Don't just get on social and just scroll, or don't just get on and just kind of haphazardly think who's on my list. Open up your database, have your Excel right in front of you, or just have your sheet printed out for the next 30, 60, 90 days. Written, workable, finite list. That's what Mike Weinberg, national sales speaker and coach, says. If you're going to succeed in sales, have a written, workable, finite list and go deep. Figure out how to get those people into a conversation with you. How do you do that? Leveraging social media. Use that search function. Google, search them right in that search function, and then go, not Google them, drill into their account. Look at what they're up to. Comment on something. Congratulate their kids' acceptance to the college. Tell them that how much you loved working with them in the past, and it's been a while. You can use comments fantastically, which leads us right into strategy number 4. Live in the comments. And I did not come up with this one. This is Jeff Lobb. Jeff Lobb is a fantastic real estate coach, speaker extraordinaire. And years ago, he told me, he said, you got to live in the comments. And he probably does it better than anybody. And by the way, he's not a big believer in capitalizing everything perfectly, or do I use emojis or not? He's just an emoji, typo the word. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to comment on your stuff. When you feel Jeff, you feel love, because he lives in the comments. He's commenting. When somebody comments on his post, he comments back to them. And, I fall into the trap, guys, of moving too fast. And I'll just oftentimes, and you guys know this because you see this when I post, you'll see me leave high fives or hearts. If it's somebody's anniversary, I always do 2 hearts. If they post a picture with their kids and their dog, I'll do a heart for each of their kids and their dog, right? So there's my strategy there. But at the same time, sometimes I have to remember, slow down, Tim, and really think about what they just wrote about on this post and say something back. The people who leave that big comment and it wasn't AI generated, right? Because you see those now too, those comments that are AI generated, right? Don't do that. But those comments that are heartfelt, oh, I read your post and it meant something to me right now in my life, those matter to you, don't those? Those fill you up. What if we gave that back to our clients, right? Our prospects. So live in the comments and really, and I like to use the word a little loosely, but stalk. Do some social stalking, right? Don't be creepy, but just look on social, what's going on. And then the biggest thing is, how can I move the comments that I'm doing into a DM? This is strategy number 5. Video is powerful. I use a lot of video in direct message, but I start with voice. So now if I know somebody well and it's their birthday, so here's where DMs start for me. Every morning in my time block, I search in the search function on social media. You could do this on LinkedIn and Facebook, birthdays. And then on the birthday, I'll go into messaging and I will send them, if it's somebody I know well, I'll send them a video. I'll just be like, hey man, it's your birthday today. Listen, it's all about you. Hopefully you're spoiled rotten, your family. I know they're going to spoil you rotten, but I just wanted to tell you I'm grateful. And I'll try at that moment to think of something very specific that person has brought to my life. And I'll be very just looking at the camera, just talking, trying to talk to them as if they're across the table at coffee with me. And so I'll do that video. If I don't know the person that well, but it's their birthday, I'll send a voice memo. Everybody gets a voice memo or a video on their birthday, right? And just do that in the direct message. I will have people respond back oftentimes faster in a direct message on social than they did to a text message or an email. So just think about that. Now, in your sales sequence also, you can use this. So say that you sequence somebody, a prospect, you send them a video email to introduce yourself. You connect with them on social media. You put maybe a book in the mail to them or whatever. You're just working through your sequence. You can now leverage social media with a direct message to say, hey, hopefully you saw my video email to you. I would love to just, grab a coffee, my treat. I love everything I'm seeing on here. Congrats on your kids, by the way. That's awesome. And just let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you got that. Oftentimes I'll get a response back. Oh yeah, so sorry. I've been meaning to email you. Why did that response happen so often? Because when you reach out on social media, it's just automatically, it's just this humanization. It's oh, that's another human being. It's this mentality we live in now. So leverage voice and video in your sales sequence for one of the touches, tying it back to one of your previous touches. I would not personally reach out on social media for my first touch with a video message. Hi, I'm Tim. I would like to, because that just kind of feels, but if you, might feel a little weird. But if you've already sent them an email, send them a text message, maybe call and left a voicemail, well, use the direct message now, right? Some of you don't know that well. Use the direct message somewhere there. Just tie it back to what you sent or something you put in the mail. Hopefully you got that. But man, I'm loving everything you're posting and would love to have coffee, my treat, right? Go in the comments like that. I have had so many coffees happen out of a social media direct message. I was showing somebody over drinks just last night. They were like, you can do voice memos in direct message. I'm like, yeah, look at this. And I went to show them mine, and I'd forgotten how many, but on Saturday, I just spent in my time block, I had just spent, time just catching up on some, I had like 15 voice memos, just short voice memos. And some of those were prospect sequence. Some of those were birthdays, but it was all just voice memos. And I was just showing him, and then he's like, wow. And then I did a voice memo to one of my colleagues. And so it's so loud and everything. I'm like, hey, blah, 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 just yelling the phone, teacher. And I hit send. He's like, you didn't just send that, did you? I'm like, well, it was one of my colleagues. She'll understand. He's like, oh, that was funny. But you could be kind of crazy and fun, like in the voice, because it's you. You don't have to worry about tone. Did I text this just right? Did I word this just right? It's your voice. So live in the comments, move those comments into voice and DMs. All right. Now, number 6, build your referral network by intentionally, and this word is highlighted for a reason, intentionally sharing and tagging and interacting with pages and groups. So think about those in your referral network, those top producers, those mortgage bankers, the people who are active, they're out there, they're showing up, right? I say good things happen to those who show up, better things happen to those who show up with value, and the best things happen for those who show up and help implement that value. But with that in mind, you have a referral network that they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to grow their social presence. They're trying to do better on social media with their sales. So not only can we share some of these strategies that we're using, but we can say, hey, listen, Alex, I'm really working to grow my social media presence. I know you are too. When we do an event together, I'm going to tag you, or hey, I'm going to tag you in some of the stuff I post. Would you comment, like, subscribe, smash the subscribe button? Would you like and comment and feel free to tag me. I'll try and do the same for you. I would say that in any 90-day period, having like 5 to 10 strategic referral partners that you're trying to do stuff with and tag and build together on social media is powerful. Now, one of the biggest strategies here is number 7, which is kind of ties with number 6. Ask for that engagement. Ask for people to share your stuff. But you have to first ask yourself, okay, why would they share my stuff, right? So why would they share my stuff? So here's the deal. If you're putting out good thought leadership, good content, consider doing this, right? Hey, I just shared a 3-minute video on social media all about the heightened, fraud that's happening in real estate due to AI. Like how AI is, how fraud isn't even misspelling grammar anymore. It's so good. It looks so real. They're literally scraping our signature lines. They're hacking people because it looks so real, because AI is being weaponized. And you tell you send a message out, maybe some text messages to your referral network. You say, hey, I just posted this LinkedIn message or this LinkedIn post. I try to make this very shareable. I didn't over brand myself on this. I just made this very shareable because it matters to our industry. I thought I'd send you the link. It's just below here. And it felt like maybe you could share that. I would find that valuable to share it with your network. What do we just do that there? We just distributed. I like to look at social media as a product. Like, what product am I putting out there? And then how can I get my product in more store windows? How can I get my product out there? Huh? If you're in manufacturing, you have a product. If you're in retail, you're in product. You need distribution. Think about social media that way. Am I building a valuable product in my posting and my content strategy that would be shareable? And then am I asking for that share, right? Am I making it easy for people to share? Text people. I've had people share my stuff simply by texting them a link. Hey, I just posted Accelerate, for instance, the event Accelerate. I've sent that to people. Hey, your network, you've got real estate agents. I know you're always hanging with top producers. Like, they need to be in the room. This is going to take their business and skyrocket it. We're going so practical. I've been in too many AI sessions that just surface. This is so deep. We're going to go prompts with them. We're going to build stuff with them. help them be in the room. Can I count on you? Would you share this? And I'll send them the LinkedIn. And I've had so many shares on that because I just simply asked, right? So ask people to share. If you interview somebody, say you have a podcast or you interview somebody. So Tally's joining me here in like 2 minutes. If Tally is on with me, then I'm going to post on LinkedIn the recordings here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to tag Tally, but my ask, I'll send her a message. Thanks for joining me. Hey, I just posted on LinkedIn. It's ready to share, right? So anytime you're doing something in collaboration with one of your referral partners, ask them to share and make sure you tag them. So, but always ask yourself, why would they share? Is my content shareable? And then I believe in cross-pollinating and repurposing content. So what do I mean by that? Well, cross-pollinating is where you are using one piece of data or one piece of content on one social to maybe cross-pollinate to another social that you're trying to build. So say you're trying to build your YouTube channel and you're dominating on Facebook. Well, how do I repurpose content and cross-pollinate so I can take some of my Facebook folks and let them know very clearly what YouTube's being used for and why they should subscribe, why they should care. So cross-pollinating and repurposing content is powerful. Big brands do this with new products being released. So think about it with different channels or different, maybe a playlist on YouTube. How can you cross-pollinate that with another social channel? You could do some stories, some reels, and then, hey, the links below, check out the long form video all about this. Feel free to share with your network and do your reel on Instagram, but you're tying it back to your YouTube channel, right? So cross-pollinate and repurpose content. Repurposing content we touched on as well, in that you could take long form and turn it into like an article, written article for like LinkedIn or whatnot. So there's a strategy there. All right. And then last but not least, as Tally gets joined here, is less is actually more. We already talked about picking the one platform, but even when it comes to our content, the whole posting millions of times a day and posting every day of the week, like I believe less is more when you are now taking that content and actually putting it into your email sequence or say your newsletter. And you're like, hey, I created this video. It's shareable. Here it is. Right at the link goes right to my social page. What are you doing? You're using your email marketing now to cross-pollinate with your social channel. Less is more when you use it more effectively. Another good strategy is to take a post that you just did and send it, or a post maybe you did 3 months ago, and you're working out with a new prospect and you're like, wow, everything you see about them, like what I posted 3 months ago would resonate with them. So you go find that post and you send in a direct message. So now you're not even leaving the channel. You're on Instagram, DMing on Instagram. Hey, I posted this. What you posted yesterday resonated so deeply with me. I posted this 3 months ago. Golly, we should get coffee. Like, I feel like we're cut from the same cloth. That's power. Because you just took something you posted, you recognized something they posted, and then you just rolled with it. So you owned it and getting in front of them. So real quick though, I want to talk about real quick, Be Like Howard. And Tally, if you're here, are you here yet? If you are, just shout at me, yell at me. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop share as Tally gets joined here. But Be Like Howard. So who's Howard? Howard is a good friend of mine, and he is. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. I just stopped sharing the screen. I think my audio might have gone out there for just a second. Let's check. Thanks for sharing that coupon code, guys. Well, awesome, cool. Right. Tally will be on any minute. Give her a second, but Howard is an investment banker. He is a extraordinary speaker. He's a man of influence, and I got on a Zoom call with him. He's got 4 kids. He's ahead of me in life, and so I was taking some notes and just learning from Howard. And one thing Howard did is so great. He's like, he said, Tim, I'm not on social media. He said, I've got plenty of business, and I work with only a select few. Like, I'm very targeted. He said, but do me a favor. He said, can you share your screen? We were on a Zoom. So can you share your screen? I said, sure. So I shared my screen, and he says, all right, type in, and he gives me his website. So I type it in. He's like, yep, that's spelled correctly. Great. So literally, what's he doing? He's having me like take action before we end the Zoom. He said, now right there. So as soon as I got on his website, it popped up, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. He said, this is my only ask. He said, I believe in the power of attraction, and I believe in the power of less is more. And he said, my only ask is that you subscribe. This is personally written by me. It goes out once a month. And in about 90 days, my team will circle back with you to see if you found value in the last few months that you received. So please read it. I don't send it out to just anybody. Please read it. Please subscribe. It's never spam. It's me writing, and I'm not like he said. I just tell it like it is. So if you don't like it, it's just me. That's fine. But he said just subscribe, and he just like took, what did that take me, about a minute? He had it a little bit more polished than I just did. So it took him maybe 45 seconds. And I'm like, sure, Howard, I'm in. What did Howard do? Howard didn't have an easy button. Howard didn't even have he didn't even have social media. Howard had one call to action, but he made sure every high level meeting he had, he gave that call to action and made sure it happened. So I would say that your best strategy with social media is find out where the engagement happens and make more of that, like replicate that. Get engagement to whatever channel you're trying to build. Time block it. And when that time block's done, get off. When the comments happen throughout the day, one last little hack, turn your notifications for social media off. You have a time block tomorrow. It can wait. Social media is not where emergencies happen typically. People are going to call you or email you for those or text you. Get on social media and then get off. The biggest trap with social media is we don't get off. We start scrolling. We start watching TikToks, and it just burns time and energy, and we're not being proactive. We're being reactive. So one little pro hack, turn your notifications for social media completely off. Engage with social media on your terms. Don't let Mark Zuckerberg hack your brain ever again. So I'm your friend in this. And listen, I've been down this journey, okay? I've had mental health problems myself, not in a like terrible way. I know some good friends who are like literally struggling with just complete information overload. I just had more of the mental fatigue, the always being plugged in, always feeling that. So turning notifications off is the first step. Getting off of Instagram was another step. And now inviting everybody to the party on LinkedIn, that's grown by like 3,000-4,000. And not that I'm trying to grow it like crazy, but they're all meaningful connections. Every last one of them. And everybody who connects with me on LinkedIn gets a message from me. I'm grateful to connect. Here's what I'm looking for. Like, or I'll say, hey, what caused you to reach out? And I'm always trying to pick up a conversation. So with that in mind, I think it's very, very powerful. So let me just check my, any questions, I'll take questions from anybody real quick. And I'm just going to check my text thread to make sure Miss Sally is able to get in as a panelist. Hang on 1 second. Any questions, guys? Did you get anything out of this? Any aha moments? Check the chat here. What did you guys take away? Let me know. In a word, which point resonated the most? Awesome. Less is more. Great. Awesome. Awesome. Love the video, voice notes, and TMs. Great. That's great, guys. Awesome. Well, I'm going to copy this link real quick here and get this over to Sally. I think there's some trouble with the panelist link. So give me 1 second, guys. Participants, I'm going to do this. I'm going to send this as a message. 1 second. You guys are going to love Tally. Tally's my friend up in Columbus, Ohio. She's an amazing high performance coach. And apparently I have a disconnect with the link that I sent her. It's my fault. Okay, get her joined. And I'll promote her as a panelist here shortly. All right. Thanks for the feedback, guys. That's awesome. Again, social media, it can be an absolute part of our sales strategy if done correctly. Wonderful. All right. Good stuff. All right, let's see here. Tally. Watching the Tally joining. Give us 1 second. I see some hands up. So I see Brooke and Carol. I saw some hands up. I did not recognize those. If those went up during the presentation or if you have your hands up now, but because it's a webinar, you guys can drop. If you have a question, that is, drop that in the chat if you don't mind. Doug, thanks. Insert more of you. Lean into LinkedIn. Awesome. Awesome. Voice notes. Great. Yeah, voice is so powerful, guys. It's so easy too. Just hold the little record button down. And then when you let up, boom, there it is. So powerful. All right. Tally, if you're there, say something to me in the chat real quick. If you're there as an attendee. let me know. All right. Yeah. Give it 1 second here, guys. Hopefully we don't have to reschedule. I think we're good. Just give us 1 second. Okay. So Tally and I met at anybody a Lewis Howes subscriber or follower? Lewis Howes, podcaster extraordinaire, speaker. Anybody a Lewis Howes fan? Yes, Alex, you are. That's great. How did I not know that? It's fantastic. So Tally and I actually met at a Lewis Howes event, and we became fast friends. She's a high performance coach. She's coached me a couple of times in my life, and then we did some coaching together for executives, and then we still work on a referral basis quite often. So just gonna text her any issues here. All right. But good stuff. Bear with us a few more minutes. I'm gonna try and get Tally in here. If not, I'm going to jump into the conversation while I watch for her. And basically what we wanted to do was go into a little bit of a deeper dive with you guys on taking conversations deeper. So let's say you get the DM, right? You're on social media, you get the DM, and you're now able to leverage that into a coffee, right? And you're going to go sit with them. Tally has the gift of sitting with people, leaving the coffee. And, we always teach follow up after the coffee, follow up. Okay, Tally has this gift of what I call magnetism, where she does a great job following up. She doesn't have to, because she left them wanting more. She was fully present. She's taught me the value of being fully present. She's taught me the value of listening well and making people feel seen and heard. So we were going to break that down together. And I'm still looking at the attendee list here. I'm certainly hoping she's able to join. If she's having technical difficulty, we may have to reschedule a Tally. But I know for a fact, based on your feedback and just some of the people on here, you guys are already doing social well. That's what's exciting. A couple of tweaks in the, in some of the directions of leveraging it more intentionally, driving things, people, prospects intentionally to our channel. So very, very powerful. So I'm going to give it one more try here for Tally. And then if this doesn't work, we will, okay, she said be there in just a second. She's working on the internet. Okay, perfect. We'll give it just a second. And we'll probably be wrapping up with her, 30 minutes max. So hopefully before, and we'll be done before 3, but I will give it a little bit more time here. So I asked somebody the other day, business owner in Richmond, I said, what is your word? What do you need out of 2025? Okay, what do you need out of 2025 in a word? He said, can I make it a sentence? I'm like, absolutely, absolutely. So he thought for a second. He said, I need to keep my team energized to sell over the winter months. Anybody else with him on that? Anybody else? You want to keep your team energized and focused to sell over the winter months. I think there's a tendency often to slack off, or, as they should be, holidays are oftentimes for appreciation. So we're touching our good clients. Sometimes we let off the gas on prospecting. Sometimes we let off the gas on proactive sales work. So he said that his goal over going into 2025 was to not let the gas off team-wide, selling, opening up conversations, being aware of conversations that they could have. So I just want to encourage you guys with that. And if you're a title company on the call, I know for everybody on the call, mortgage, title, real estate, Accelerate, that is for you. That is in October, the 23rd and 24th, just a month, 29 days away. All right. But for the title companies on the call, for the title agency sales reps on the call, for branch managing attorneys, agency owners, plan to be at Energize. We have some fantastic things coming this year. January the 22nd, 23rd, Ellicott City, January the 22nd, in Richmond, Virginia, January the 23rd. Plan to be at Energize. You trust me, we're having Chelsea, Sam, and David Bravo back, but we also have a few folks that we're adding to the lineup that you don't want to miss when it comes to how we have to re-articulate our value in this industry. How we have to, it's on us. So we have some people coming. We also have some things planned when it comes to business structure, exit strategy. What are you building towards? What is 5, 10 years down the road look like for you? We're gonna target that more from the sales and marketing standpoint. So just teasing that out. Make sure you guys are highlighted stars on the calendar, and make sure your team knows about it. We want to see tables of teams. I think sometimes we as leaders, we get excited, we come back, and there's that change management piece, right? They're not as excited as us because they weren't there. So bring some of your key players who can really effect change in your sales culture. Last year, it was reimagining our sales culture. This year is amplifying, because we want to go team-wide, amplifying sales culture. All right, so I'm going to just offer a reschedule real quick. I don't know if we're still having Tally. Please, if I'm missing you in the attendee lineup here, just wave at me or put something in the chat. But I've said everything that I need to say, and I'm totally willing to shut up. I really wanted Tally to talk to you guys. I may do a one-off recording with her and send it to you guys on this topic of magnetic conversations, taking your next coffee with a real estate agent or mortgage banker or home buyer or dentist or whomever you're talking to, city council member, taking it deeper. And I'm going to give it one more look here, and then we're going to let you guys go at the 2:30 on a Monday. We have a busy, not a busy, hopefully a productive week in front of us, but we'll be moving around quite a bit. I'll be back up in Northern Virginia Wednesday, down in Fredericksburg, and then back down in Richmond on Thursday. But you guys have things to do, places to go. Go make the day of a home buyer out there today or tomorrow or this week. Go make the day of one of your referral partners. Go live in the comments. Go a little deeper. Say something a little bit more than typical, than usual. Get in a DM. Stretch your vocals. Leave a voice message. Make those sales happen using social media. Make sure you're getting the return on the investment of time. Guys, I'm here for you. I love you guys. And sales can and should be a lot of fun. So we'll reschedule with Tally and get that recording out to you guys on how to take conversations deeper. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday.